We know based off the signs. All right, go ahead, Op.
Sirach 8, verse 19. Open not thine heart to every man, lest he requite thee with a shrewd term.
No, is that, no, what's that? Second Ezra, not Sirach. Second Ezra 8 in the last verse. Yup.
This is Second Ezra chapter 8, verse 63. Behold, O Lord, now hast thou showed me the multitude of the wonders which thou wilt begin to do in the last times.
That thou will begin to do in the last times, man. All right, we in the last times. All right, and guess what? This is the prophet Ezra speaking. He was alive, what, 2,500 years ago? 2,500 years ago, and he's talking about now in these times. Okay, go ahead.
But at what time thou hast not showed me?
Exactly. That's the time, right? Everybody's wanting to know the time. But at what time you haven't showed me, right? Keep going.
That was the last verse.
No, go to the next chapter.
Oh, fine. Second Ezra 9 and 1. He answered me then.
Now he answered him then, right?
And said.
That's why the brother's laughing, because he went right into it. He answered me then and said, go ahead.
Measure thou the time diligently in itself.
Measure thou the time. You got to know the time you're in. So when we see this, we know what time we're in. We're in the time of the Lord's what? Prophecy coming to pass, and the Lord's judgment of that prophecy coming to pass. All right? You have people on the way up here on 8th Street, coming from Benning Road on 8th Street. There was a man laying, you know where that trolley goes up and down? There's a man laying on the street, and you had a car parked, and people were surrounding him, and they were calling the cops, I guess. He was laid out. I don't know if he just, died, collapsed. Later on, they can probably say he died of the coronavirus. You know how they're using that. But that's the Lord's judgment. People are dropping like flies left and right. Now what's the report? They said 1,000 something people died in a single day. All right, from this virus now. That's the numbers that they had over in Italy. When you had like 969 dropping in one day. Now you have 1,041 or something like that dropping in America. 500 another day. This is judgment of the Lord, man. All right, that's why I read the scripture earlier. A wise man will fear in everything. And if you sin, you beware of that. Lord, forgive me. Because I almost said Salakia. Salakia means forgive me in the Hebrew. Lord, forgive me for my offense. Because I don't want to be caught out here, man. And you see, we're doing everything in faith. You don't see us out here with masks on. We're surrounded by the elements. We're surrounded by people. We don't have masks on, man. Why? Because we're doing this in faith, man. And the Lord always protected those who trusted in him. Give me that real quick before we jump back. Sirach, the second chapter. Go ahead, bro.
I got the number from worldometers.com.
Yes. Thank you, bro.
USA. This is just yesterday. The number of new deaths in America is 1,328.
Oh, that's now?
That was yesterday.
Yesterday.
So far today is 769.
Okay. Oh, who died in one day?
That's death.
Today.
Yeah.
See?
That's today.
See? Numbers is jumping every day. Now 700 something people died today. That's people's families, man. And you like, man, that should put you in fear of the person who's allowing this to happen. All right? The Christian church ain't gonna tell you this because they're too busy at home waiting out the coronavirus. With signs up saying, hey, due to the coronavirus, we're not gonna be here. Now, according to the law that they put out, the mandate, you can be in congregations in less than 10. So how come the churches ain't having different groups of 10?
That's right.
You're still preaching the word to the people. That's because they're not the true prophets, man.
That's right.
That's right.
Because when you go according to the scriptures, when you read the scriptures, all right, the prophets, we're doing what the prophets did of old, man. We're doing the same exact thing the prophets did of old, man. Hey, give me give me that. Yup, give me Jeremiah 28 and 8. All that. All right, all that, the basics. But I like to get the basic scriptures because I go into them. It's always stuff to go into. All right.
You want that, Jim?
Yup.
This is Jeremiah chapter 28, verse 8. It says, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries.
So why? So it says the prophets. Another word for prophet is a preacher. Don't you call these people in the churches preachers? Why are they not prophesying of these things? Why didn't they do it before? They should have told you that this stuff was happening before it happened in those churches to prepare you for those times. We've been doing it.
Right.
That's why you have some people that know what's up. Because look, the good watchman gave that warning. How come they didn't do it? They just as dumbfounded as you are.
Right.
I don't know what's that. I guess we gotta stay home. That don't look like a prophet to me. Go ahead, Doc.
This is Jeremiah chapter 28, verse 8. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old.
Yeah, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old. We're saying that now because we believe ourselves to be prophets. The prophets are the ones that say before. That's how you know who a prophet is. A prophet is someone who says before. Another word for prophet is spokesman. Because that person who's saying before is saying stuff on behalf of the one who sent it, the Heavenly Father. We're spokesmen of the Heavenly Father and the Son, man. We believe that. Why? Because we're teaching out of the Word. Before this stuff happens, man. Go ahead, bro.
This is Jeremiah chapter 28, verse 8. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil.
Yeah, there goes that evil again. Prophesy of war, which you have wars going on. You have rumors of war, all right? Of evil, of these bad times, man. Not in the church jumping up and down, you know, talking about pay that money. You know, they'll tell you, make sure you pay them tithes. Even now, during the corona. Even now, during the coronavirus. Telling you, hey, please keep sending them tithes in. But you ain't speaking. Or, I'll take that back. You may have some of them that are doing online stuff. All right, some of them. But they should have been teaching, man. Teaching. How come they're not doing what the Lord says? The Lord said, go out on the highways and hedges. That's why our people are able to see us. Because we out here. Where they at? Go ahead, bro.
This is Jeremiah chapter 28, verse 8. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries.
Against many countries, because you had other empires, all right, and other areas that were what? Destined to go down. And you had to have a prophet set up to teach on this, man. All right, go ahead.
And against great kingdoms of war and of evil.
Of evil.
And of pestilence.
And of pestilence. The pestilence is a disease. That's what you see going on right now, man. All right? A pestilence is this coronavirus. A pestilence is this 5G. Okay? This 5G technology that creates radiation that destroys your body. They put this is not even 5G. This is a regular cell phone that they put down on the table, and they put steel wool circling the cell phone. Not on it, just around the cell phone. When they dialed the cell phone's number, the steel wool caught on fire. That lets you know that the radiation that emits from your cell phone is toxic. We all know that. Everybody jokes about it. But the jokes come from somewhere, right? From the truth, right? So these phones that you have, they emit radiation. So how much more when they amplify it with something like 5G? Radiation never been good for the body of the human, man. The man. So when radiation is pumped out and these different people are getting sick, they're like, oh man, they're dying from the coronavirus. They're using the coronavirus to mask for the deaths that 5G has created. You see? All right? Because somebody brought out a good point, an excellent point. How come you don't see the continent of Africa really exposed like that? Or Russia and these different other places truly exposed like that? But you see the map, everything else is red and all this. A pandemic mean it got global already. So nobody's in Russia got it? Nobody? Why? Because they're not truly exposed to the 5G technology, man. You see? That's the thing. And when people are getting them symptoms, they're like, oh, it's the coronavirus. They're masking it with the virus, man. And then they laugh people to scorn when you say, oh, the 5G is creating the coronavirus. Wrong. The 5G is not, well, right. No, wrong in that sense. The 5G is not creating the coronavirus. The coronavirus been here. That's a different strain of stuff. It's been here. The The 5G is creating these symptoms that's messing people up, who the officials are saying the coronavirus is doing this to. That's the difference. That's the difference. Okay, laugh people to scorn. The 5G ain't creating the coronavirus. Yes, we know this. The symptoms of the 5G that's happening to people, y'all are saying the coronavirus is doing it too. That's what we're saying, man. It's a difference, man. But guess what? Be it as it may, it's still a disease on the body. And what is that? That's a pestilence. Thus saith the Holy Bible. Go ahead. Go ahead, bro.
You got the definition of it? This is on etymondictionary.com. The word pestilence is a noun. It says pestilence from Old French. It says a plague, an epidemic.
A plague, an epidemic. All right, go ahead.
It says an unwholesome atmosphere. It said the root word is from pest, to be infected, to be unwholesome, to be nauseous.
To be infected, right? To be what? It said to be what? Nauseous, right? Sick. Feeling sick. That's what a pestilence does to your body, because a pestilence is a disease, man. Okay? Coronavirus, the real one out there, to include radiation. They're all pestilences, man. All right? Go ahead. Any more?
Yeah, just a little bit. It says the root word comes from pest, which is a noun. It's a pest. It says a deadly contagious disease.
Thank you. Straight up. A deadly contagious disease, man. Straight up. That's what a pestilence is, man. All right, go ahead.
It says a curse.
A curse. And that is a curse, man. All right? That's one of the curses that what? Befell Israel. That we were going to be sick and have diseases, have inflammation. Inflammation's in the scriptures, man. All right? That's one of the curses in the Holy Bible, man. And guess what? Because of America's wickedness, man. All right, guess what? All these curses are starting to come around what? All the heathen. Right? The pestilence and the sicknesses that we've been getting and that we've been destined to be cursed with, guess what? Everybody else is getting it now. Well, you can say, well, wait a minute, what about your people? They're catching it too, but the thing is, they don't know they're Israelites. Once they get to the knowledge that they're Israelites and come back to their Heavenly Father, they no longer them black people. They no longer brown people. They no longer African American. They no longer Latinos. They Israelites that have faith in their power. And guess what? They get shielded from that. It's a difference. Because we had knuckleheads come out there. Well, you say that Bible's for your people. How can we see your people getting shot down in the street? The difference is they didn't come back to the knowledge of who they were and worship the Heavenly Father with faith so they can be protected. So in our eyes, they're still looked at as heathen right now. That's the difference. The Lord protects His Israelites to have faith in Him. That leads us to Sirach, the second chapter.
Sirach, chapter 2.
And you can read verse 1 on down.
Okay, come. This Sirach, chapter
We oftentimes go to 10, but we can go to 1 on down.
My son, if thou come to serve the Lord.
Thank you. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, because it's about serving the Lord, man. Did we ever get that? I know you already got them. We're about to shout it out. Isaiah 8. Let the Lord be your fear and dread. All right. Go ahead, Doc.
This is Sirach chapter 2, verse 1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation.
We got to prepare our souls, our bodies for the temptation that's in this world, man. We gotta constantly fight against what? Wanting to do wickedness, man. We gotta prepare for that. We gotta prepare against the temptation of the mark of the beast that's gonna come out, which is AKA the RFID chip. The thing that you won't be able to buy or sell unless you have it. But if you take that, thus saith the Bible, the Lord is gonna put you to death. People don't understand the seriousness of the RFID chip. When you put that RFID chip in your body, you're saying that the white man is your God. Plain and serious, plain and simple. You're saying that the so-called white man, all right, is your God. He has staked you. He has got you there. He has branded you. Yeah, imprinted mark.
Yep.
He has branded you. You are mine. In order for you to buy or sell, you got to come to my establishments, man. Oh, and you better not act up, because I could turn off that chip. People don't understand, just because you get it don't mean you're going to eat it. You gotta be in line. So you still in the trap. You see? When you take that RFID chip, the mark of the beast, you will die according to the Bible, man. Okay? And when you take that, you're saying that the so-called white man is your God. I mean, you wanna know why? Because when you go back to the Hebrews laws, give me that Kazakh box. Look, pierce through the ear with an awl. Babak Shah. When you go back to the Hebrews law, it was times when we served what? Other Hebrews. All right? We became servants unto other Hebrews, and that happened. Sometimes you know, you have somebody come under you, right? And you put them on, you built them up, and they served you. All right? So that they wouldn't be poor. It happened that way. All right? Go ahead. Matter of fact, get it out once you find it. All right?
That's how Jacob got his wives. He had to serve
Laban.
He worked for his uncle.
Yeah, that's how our forefather, like the Zaquan said, that's how our forefather Jacob, all right, got his wives, because he served his uncle Laban for a period of 14 years for his one wife that he wanted so bad. All right, he served them 7 years for Rachel. But then Laban said, "Oh, that's not my custom. You have to get the older child first." So he tricked them. He tricked them. So he was like, "Well, what do I have to do again?" He said, "Serve me yet another 7 years." So he served another 7 years so he can get the one woman he really wanted. You see? But the thing is, he served. All right. So we go back to our Hebrew laws. It's times when we served other Israelites, man. Not in rigor. Not in harshness. They wasn't harsh against their brother, because that's another brother. But what? They was your servant, man. All right. As soon as you get it up, whoever gets it.
Yeah, I got it, bro.
Go ahead. It says, bore his ear with an awl.
It's Exodus 21. I'll start at verse 4. If his master have given him a wife, and she have borne him sons or daughters, the wife and her children shall be her master's, and he shall go out by himself. And if the servant shall plainly say, I love my master, my wife, and my children, I will not go out free. Then his master shall bring him unto the judges. He shall also bring him to the door.
Right, bring him unto the judges, because it had to be witnesses, right? It had to be a proper judgment. Bring him to the judges. Go ahead.
He shall also bring him to the door, or unto the door post, and his master shall bore his ear through with an awl.
Bore his ear through with an awl. Basically like an earring almost. Make a piercing through his ear with an awl. Go ahead.
And he shall serve him forever.
And he shall serve him forever. That's because that Hebrew servant said, you know what? I love my master, man. I love this guy, man. He treats me well. He put me up. I enjoy serving him. You have situations like that. Even in modern times, you have jobs like butlers. Now over here is not so popular, but when you go over to other countries, that's a profession.
Gatekeepers.
They're stewards, gatekeepers. Guess what? Them butlers are almost just as rich, man. When he leaves the house, when the master leaves the house, the butler runs everything. The head butler runs everything. He got his feet up. He got a lush room, everything. Right? So that still happens in modern times, but you had it with our people. All right, go ahead. He bores his ear in with an awl, and he shall. You don't got to get it, because it says in what? He shall serve him forever. Now get Revelation 13 and 16.
This is Revelation chapter 13, verse 16. And he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their hand or in their forehead.
So he said, and he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond. So it don't matter what status you are in America. It said to receive a mark, right? Go ahead.
Verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell,
Got that word mark?
save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name.
So basically at the end of the day, you have to have what? That RFID chip in you. All right? All right? To what? To buy and sell. All right? That's the so-called white man structure. With a mark of the beast is really what? The RFID chip of what? NATO. Because when you go back into it, all right, the 7 heads and 10 horns, that links up with what? The prophecies in the book of Daniel. Even when you read Revelation 17, It tells you that these heads, they're kings. It'll tell you that they're people. It's not an actual beast. So it's kings. It's a structure. All right? And it just happens to link up with what? NATO. So, because guess what? The RFID chip ain't just here in America. Right? It's in other countries. It's in different other what? EU countries, man. That's why it's the mark of the beast of the EU system. And who's a part of that? America what? Is a part of that. All right? Right? America, of course, is not the EU, but guess what? It's a part of that system. Right? Because it's the whore that sits on top of the beast. See? All right? Give Revelation 13, 16 again, Ox.
This is Revelation chapter 13, verse 16.
And then Revelations 14 and 9. Yep.
And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. Skip right to it.
Yep.
This is
right hand or in their forehead. You got that word mark?
It's the word mark. In the Greek, it's charagma. It means a stamp, an imprinted mark.
A stamp, an imprinted mark. Now, the word imprint, right? If you ever got hit in the face with a basketball or a baseball or something like that, he smiled, maybe you got hit a bunch of times. But if you ever got, playing, but if you ever got hit in the face with something hard, whatever it is, it often leaves an imprint of that object on you, right? Now this is talking about what? Actually putting it in your skin, all right? So in order to put this in your skin, it has to be inserted, it has to be pressed in there and inserted with something. And that's a syringe. They're gonna, what? Take the RFID chip and put it in your body with the syringe. Read the whole definition, huh?
Yeah, it says a thing carved, a sculpture.
A thing carved, go ahead.
Or a graven work.
See, a thing carved. So what? If you take a syringe and you puncture that, you're going into your skin. You're imprinting that into your skin. You're carving in your skin, essentially, all right? To put that RFID chip in your hand, all right? Now go ahead and read Revelation 14.
This is Revelation chapter 14, verse 9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast in his image.
If any man worship the beast in his system, all right? If you worship the NATO, all right? If you worship the EU in their system, what they put forth, okay, go ahead.
And receive his mark in his forehead.
And receive that mark in your forehead, go ahead.
Or in his hand.
Or in the hands, go ahead.
The same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High.
The same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High. Meaning you're going to be destroyed. Go ahead.
Which is poured out without mixture. Into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone.
There we go, because now we're getting into it. A part of that wrath is being tormented with fire and brimstone. Who was tormented with fire and brimstone in the ancient world? Sodom and Gomorrah, right? And the other cities that was with there, because it was 5 of them. They were all destroyed with fire and brimstone. Now the new fire and brimstone now is going to be the nuclear missiles, man. All right? The nuclear missiles. Because it's going to destroy everything, man. Not the whole planet Earth, but everything that it hits. All right? Why do you think Russia and all these other countries are constantly making what nuclear bombs? And you got some people saying they're denuclearizing. They try to denuclearize and scale down. No, it's impossible. Because the Lord has a specific number. What is that? Revelation, the 9th chapter. It's a specific number of missiles the Lord is going to have hit this place, and it goes by what? 200 million. So in order to get 200 million missiles, you got to constantly keep creating, man. Remember, these different missiles, they have multiple warheads. That's how you're going to get that number of 200 million. All right? Well, go ahead, read one more time. Revelation.
Excuse me,
yeah, absolutely.
Excuse me, I don't mean to. Look, Israel, why is Israel not black? Why is it so white?
Isaiah, the 1st chapter. Isaiah, the 1st chapter. Hey, give me Revelation. Give me Revelation. You know what I want. Yep. Plain and simple.
I didn't mean
No, you're supposed to. You're supposed to. We want that. Matter of fact, give me Revelation first. And I know the blasphemy. Give me that first, and then you can jump to Isaiah, the 1st chapter. Go ahead, Op.
This is Revelation chapter 2, verse 9. I know thy works and tribulation and poverty.
Now the Lord, this is the Lord speaking. He said, I know thy works and tribulation and poverty. He knows the struggles that we go through. All right, go ahead.
But thou art rich.
He said, but you're rich. So even though we have all these struggles, it says we're rich. Give me Luke 21 and 14. All right, go ahead.
And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews.
Now blasphemy means lie, filthy lie. He said, now I know the blasphemy of what?
Them that say that are Jews.
Them that say they are Jews, go ahead.
But are not.
But are not. Go ahead.
But are the synagogue of Satan.
But are the chief house of Satan. So you have a group of people calling themselves Jews. They're not even calling themselves all the tribes. When you read the scriptures, where's all the other tribes at? Where's all the other tribes at? They're just saying they're Jews. The Jews come from Judah. All right? It can also come from Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. Even then, where's the other 9 tribes at? You see? So the Lord said he knows for blasphemy of those that say they are Jews and are not, but the synagogue of Satan. Another thing, how you know that they're the false Jews? Let me get the prophecy. What is it? Micah, the 2nd chapter. They should not learn war anymore. Yep. Matter of fact, give me Micah 4.
Yeah,
Micah 4 1. Yeah, Micah 4 1.
This is Micah chapter 4, verse 1. And it says, but in the last days it shall come to pass.
Now, but in the last days it shall come to pass. Go ahead.
That the mountain of the house of the Most High shall be established in the top of the mountain.
Now, when it talks about mountain, it's not talking about an actual mountain. It's talking about a government. That's why a lot of them different government programs, with the meetings, they call it a what? A summit, right? A summit is a mountain, the top of the mountain, right? So read that again.
This is Micah chapter 4, verse 1. But in the last days,
Go down that way, brother.
Yep. Go down that way.
this is Micah chapter 4, verse 1. But in the last days it shall come to pass that the mountain of the house of the Most High shall be established in the top of the mountains, and it shall be exalted above the hills,
Got 10.
and people shall flow into it.
Too close.
Too close? Okay, spread out a little bit. Spread out a little bit. Spread out a little bit. That's all. Just a little bit. All right. Read
This
it
is
again.
Micah chapter 4, verse 1. But in the last days it shall come to pass that the mountain of the house of the Most High shall be established in the top of the mountain, and it shall be exalted above the hills, and people shall flow into it.
All right, and people shall flow into it. Now, read that part again, Op.
This is Micah chapter 4, verse 1.
Hold on.
Public health emergency. Your gathering with both you and others in unnecessary risk. We encourage
Yep. No, you good. Come right here. Come over there. Okay.
I'm gonna listen from over here, brother.
Yep.
And then you head up to that camp.
Yep.
Once you make your point.
Come.
This is Micah chapter 4, verse 1. But in the last days it shall come to pass that the mountain of the house of the Most High shall be established in the top of the mountains, and it shall be exalted above the hills, and people shall flow into it.
Now it says, and people shall flow unto it, right? Now, if that's the case, how come the whole world didn't flow into the so-called Jews, right? How come everybody in the planet Earth ain't Jewish, right? Read it again.
This is Micah chapter 4, verse 1. But in the last days it shall come to pass that the mountain of the house of the Most High shall be established in the top of the mountains, and it shall be exalted above the hills, and people shall flow unto it.
Yep, and people shall flow unto it. One second, let me get his, okay? 1 second. All right, go ahead.
Verse 2, and many nations shall come and say, come and let us go up to the mountain of the Most High.
Now, since the so-called Jews, right? They got into that land in what, 1948. They established that land in 1948. Now, it said, and the nations shall say what? Let us go to the mountain of Israel, right? Go ahead. And what?
And let us go up to the mountain of the Most High, and to the house of the power of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways.
Now, if they established that land and they're the Israelites, and they're back in their land, how come we didn't all say, you know what, let's go to Israel and learn of their ways so we can all become Jewish, Jewish. Jew-like, meaning following what? Their commandments. You see? That's because the people in that land are false. All right? Now, get Isaiah the 1st chapter. All right? I started after 3.
This is Isaiah chapter 1, verse 4. All sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity, a seed of evildoers, children of the corrupters.
Yeah, now the Heavenly Father is talking about us. He said we are a sinful nation. Because there's been times when we went off against the Heavenly Father. All right, go ahead.
They have forsaken the Most High.
See, you have forsaken, you went away from the Heavenly Father. Go ahead.
They have provoked the Holy One of Israel unto anger.
You provoke God to anger. How'd you provoke God to anger? By sacrificing to other gods, by worshiping other gods. Okay? That was the number one thing that provoked our Heavenly Father to anger. Okay, go ahead.
They are gone away backward.
On top of the other wickedness our people were doing. Okay, but go ahead.
Why should ye be stricken anymore? Ye will revolt more and more.
Keep going.
The whole head is sick and the whole heart faint.
Go ahead.
From the sole of the foot even unto the head, there is no soundness in it.
There's no wholeness in it. There's no faith in it. The whole body is sick, man. Israel just kept going off, man. All right, keep going.
But wounds and bruises and putrefying sores, they have not been closed, neither bound up, neither mollified with ointment.
Israel didn't repent to the Lord. They just kept being wicked, okay? All right, they didn't seek rest. They didn't seek healing. All right, keep going.
Verse 7, your country is desolate.
Now, these people have a country. It says your country is desolate. Go ahead.
Your cities are burnt with fire. Your land, strangers devour it in your presence.
Your land, strangers devour it in your presence. Now, over in the land of Israel, them people over there are destroying our land, man. Being completely wicked. They have gay parades over in the land of Israel. But they say that they're the Lord's chosen people. But yet you have gay parades over there. Okay? They're destroying our land, man. All right?
Kosher pork.
Kosher pork. Pork is not kosher. You can't make what the Lord had to be unclean clean. You can't do that. Go ahead.
And it is desolate as overthrown by strangers.
It's desolate as overthrown by strangers. So strangers are in our land and they overthrown it, man. All right? That's a wasteland right now. Trees can't really grow over there like that. They have to come and what? They have to come import trees. They have to import trees and plant them.
What happened to the black man? Why didn't we cut their heads off?
We what?
What happened to the black man? Why didn't we cut their
Why
heads
didn't we?
off?
Because of the curses. Let's get the curses. Deuteronomy 28.
Start talking.
The scripture said that we will flee from our enemies 7 ways, man. Go ahead.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Most High thy power, to observe and to do all the commandments which I command thee this day, that the Most High thy power will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. And all these blessings.
Now, if we were to follow the Lord said he'll set us on high above what? He said above nations. So we will actually be above everybody else on the planet. We should be. Look how great we are. Look at the stuff that we did during slavery.
That's why I don't understand is this is a black code.
Now what would do? But see, what would do that? For we're naturally stronger. We're smarter. We do everything better than everybody else. What will make a people that great? Mind you, I said stronger and everything. What will make a people that great fall to the bottom in slavery? Think about that. It has to be a power to make the sons of God on earth go down.